Cuyahoga Valley National Park is a United States national park that preserves and reclaims the rural landscape along the Cuyahoga River between Akron and Cleveland in Northeast Ohio. The 32,950-acre park is administered by the National Park Service and is the only national park in Ohio. It was established in 1974 as the Cuyahoga Valley National Recreation Area and was designated as a national park in 2000. Wildlife animals found in the park include raccoons, muskrats, coyotes, skunks, red foxes, beavers, peregrine falcons, river otters, bald eagles, opossums, 3 species of moles, white-tailed deer, Canada geese, gray foxes, minks, great blue herons, and 7 species of bats. Administrative history. The valley began providing recreation for urban dwellers in the 1870s when people came from nearby cities for carriage rides or leisure boat trips along the canal. In 1880, the Valley Railroad became another way to escape urban industrial life. Actual park development began in the 1910s and 1920s with the establishment of Cleveland and Akron Metropolitan Park Districts. In 1929, the estate of Cleveland businessman Heyward Kendall donated 430 acres around the Ritchie Ledges on a trust fund to the state of Ohio. Kendall's will stipulated that the property should be perpetually used for park purposes. It became Virginia Kendall Park in honor of his mother. In the 1930s, the Civilian Conservation Corps built much of the park's infrastructure, including what are now Happy Days Lodge and the shelters at Octagon Ledges and Kendall Lake. Although the regional parks safeguarded certain places, by the 1960s local citizens feared that urban sprawl would overwhelm the Cuyahoga Valley's natural beauty. Active citizens joined forces with state and national government staff to find a long-term solution. Finally, on December 27, 1974, President Gerald Ford signed the bill establishing the Cuyahoga Valley National Recreation Area. The National Park Service acquired the 47-acre Krejci dump in 1985 to include as part of the recreation area. They requested a thorough analysis of the site's contents from the Environmental Protection Agency. After the survey identified extremely toxic materials, the area was closed in 1986 and designated a Superfund site. Litigation was filed against potentially responsible parties, which included Ford, GM, Chrysler, 3M, and Waste Management of Ohio. All the companies except 3M agreed to a settlement. 3M lost a trial. Cleanup began in 1987 and had not been completed as of mid-2011, although most of the area had been restored to its original state as wetlands. The area was redesignated a national park by Congress on October 11, 2000, with the passage of the Department of the Interior and Related Agencies Appropriations Act, 2001, House Bill 4578, 106th Congress. It is administered by the National Park Service. David Berger National Memorial in Beechwood, Ohio is also managed through Cuyahoga Valley National Park. The Richfield Coliseum, a multi-purpose arena in the Cuyahoga River area, was demolished in 1999 and the now empty site became part of Cuyahoga Valley National Park upon its designation in 2000. It has since become a grassy meadow popular with bird watches. Attractions. Many visitors spend the time hiking or bicycling the park's many trails which visit its numerous attractions, including the crushed limestone along portions of the 20-mile towpath trail, following a former stretch of the 308-mile Ohio and Erie Canal. Waterfalls, rolling hills, caves and winding river scenery attract many park visitors. Steep narrow ravines, a rolling floodplain, and lush farmland contrast with one another throughout the park. Animal life is also plentiful. The ledges provides a boulder-strewn cliff to relax and watch the sunset over the wooded scenery below. Sled riding is popular during the winter at Kendall Hills. The park offers an array of preserved and restored displays of 19th and early 20th century sustainable farming and pastoral or rural living, while catering to contemporary interests with art exhibits, outdoor concerts, and scenic excursion and special event railroad tours on the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad. It includes compatible use sites not owned by the federal government, including several local regional parks in the Cleveland Metro Parks and Metro Parks, serving Summit County System's Blossom Music Center, and the Hale Farm in Amp Village. In the mid-1980s, the park hosted the National Folk Festival, Ohio and Erie Canal Towpath Trail. The multi-purpose Ohio and Amp Erie Canal Towpath Trail was developed by the National Park Service and is the major trail through Cuyahoga Valley National Park. It runs almost 21 miles from Rockside Road, Independence, in the north to Summit County's Bike and Amp Hike Trail in the south. It follows the Cuyahoga River for much of its length. Restrooms can be found at several trailheads along the way, and commercial food and drink can be found on Rockside Road, the Boston Store in Peninsula, and at the Farmers Market on Bottom Road. There are also several visitors centers along the way. At Rockside Road, it connects to Cleveland Metro Parks Trail, which travels another 6 miles north. The Summit County Trail runs through Akron and south. The Towpath Trail continues through Stark and Tuscarawas counties down to Zoar, Ohio, almost 70 more miles with only one significant interruption. Sections of the Towpath Trail outside of Cuyahoga Valley National Park are owned and maintained by various state and local agencies. The trail also meets the Buckeye Trail in the national park. Another section of the Summit County Bike and Amp Hike Trail system is nearby. Seasonally, the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad allows visitors to travel along the towpath from Rockside Road to Akron, getting off on at any of the 6 other stops along the way. This is especially popular with bikers and for viewing and photographing fall colors. CVSR is independently owned and operated. History: the Towpath Trail follows the historic route of the Ohio and Amp Erie Canal. Before the canal was built, Ohio was a sparsely settled wilderness where travel was difficult and getting crops to market was nearly impossible. The canal, built between 1825 and 1832, provided a successful transportation route from Cleveland on Lake Erie to Portsmouth on the Ohio River. The canal opened up Ohio to the rest of the settled eastern United States. There are numerous wayside exhibits that provide information about canal features and sites of historic interest. There is also a virtual tour. Today visitors can walk or ride along the same path that the mules used to tow the canal boats loaded with goods and passengers. The scene is different than it was then. The canal was full of water carrying a steady flow of boats amongst the constant conversations of canolas. Evidence of beavers can be seen in many places along the trail. Stanford House, located in the scenic Cuyahoga Valley near Peninsula, Ohio. Stanford House is a historic 19th-century farm home built in the 1830s by George Stanford, one of the first settlers in the Western Reserve. In 1978, the NPS purchased the property to act as a youth hostel in conjunction with the American Youth Hostels Organization. In March 2011, Stanford Hostel became Stanford House, Cuyahoga Valley National Park's first in-park lodging facility. The home was renovated by the Conservancy for Cuyahoga Valley National Park and the National Park Service. Towpath trailheads, visitor centers, points of historic interest, National Register of Historic Places. Many of the listed homes are in private ownership.